In the untamed heart of Africa, where the sun rises over an endless horizon, igniting the savanna in hues of gold and orange, two queens reign with unmatched power. Their reigns are defined not by the size of their kingdoms or the sheer number of their followers, but by the strength of their will, the cunning of their strategies, and the ferocity of their instincts. These are the stories of Sienna, the lioness matriarch of the swamp pride, and Sahara, the elusive leopard whose world is carved in solitude and silence. Though their paths are starkly different, they are united in their quest for survival, each shaped by the land that they roam, the challenges they face, and the legacy they build. Sienna's story begins not as a leader, but as a bright-eyed cub, full of curiosity and wonder. She followed her mother through the vast, golden plains of the savannah, her every step a reflection of her youthful innocence. The African plains, however, are unforgiving, and for every peaceful moment, there is an ever-present danger lurking just beyond the horizon. This reality became brutally clear one fateful day when Sienna's pride was ambushed by a rival group of lions. The savannah erupted into chaos, the air filled with roars and the clash of claws. Beneath her mother's protective frame, Sienna witnessed the brutal law of the wild for the first time. It was in that moment, amid the carnage and the dust, that she learned her first lesson: survival is not a gift, it is earned. As Sienna grew, so did the distance between her and the pride she was born into. At just 2 years old, the harsh truth of the wild became clear to her. She was cast out, forced to leave her mother's side, a rite of passage that many young lionesses face. With nothing more than her instincts and the lessons passed down by her mother, Sienna stepped into the unknown. Alone, she navigated the vast plains, relying on her wits and newfound strength. This time, she was not just a cub seeking protection, she was a lioness, carving out her own future. But Sienna didn't disappear into the wilderness, she rose. She grew stronger, tougher, and wiser with every passing day. And soon, she began to form her own pride, a coalition of other cast-out lionesses who had, like her, been abandoned and left to fend for themselves. At first, their hunts were chaotic and disorganized. The young lionesses fumbled, making mistakes that cost them valuable time and energy. But Sienna's natural leadership began to emerge. She learned quickly, turning each failure into a lesson, each mistake into a stepping stone. Slowly but surely, the chaos turned into coordination. Instincts were honed into strategies. The young lioness who once cowered under her mother's protection was now commanding her own pride, leading them with a ferocity and intelligence that made her the undisputed queen of her realm. As the years passed, Sienna's reign grew stronger, and her reputation as a skilled and fearsome leader spread throughout the savannah. By the time Sienna reached her prime, she was 11 years old and had already established herself as the matriarch of the Swamp Pride, a formidable coalition of over 12 lions, including cubs. The territory she commanded spanned over 20 square miles, a rich landscape filled with abundant prey, fresh water, and all the resources necessary for her pride to thrive. Under her leadership, the pride had brought down everything from swift gazelles to massive buffaloes, proving their prowess and strategic brilliance time and time again. Every hunt was not just about survival, it was a testament to Sienna's ability to lead. Sienna's power did not lie in her raw physical strength, although at over 320 pounds, she was an imposing figure capable of bringing down prey much larger than herself. It lay in her mind, in the way she orchestrated each hunt with precision. The savannah was her stage, and every hunt was a carefully planned performance. Her eyes scanned the herd, analyzing its movements and identifying weaknesses. With the slightest flick of her tail or a glance, she signaled her lionesses, who fanned out, preparing to take down their prey. Through years of experience, Sienna had mastered the art of hunting, turning each kill into a lesson in patience and precision. Her true test, however, lay not in hunting but in the defense of her pride and territory. The savannah was a dangerous place, and Sienna had to protect her pride from rival lionesses, marauding males, and even human poachers. Her territory, near a seasonal river system, was a coveted patch of land, and to lose it would mean the end of her pride's survival. Territorial boundaries were marked with scent and defended fiercely. In the wild, to lose your land is to risk starvation. And yet, Sienna stood guard, protecting her pride and her legacy with the same fierce determination that had earned her the title of queen. Sienna's leadership wasn't just about hunting and protecting territory, it was about ensuring the survival of the next generation. Over her lifetime, she had birthed more than 20 cubs, many of whom had grown to become hunters and mothers in their own right. Her pride had grown not only in size but in strength, each cub born under her leadership a living testament to her ability to lead and to protect the future of her bloodline. She had raised her daughters to follow in her footsteps, teaching them the skills they would need to survive in a world that was as dangerous as it was beautiful. Meanwhile, far from the bustling, open plains of the Swamp Pride, another queen ruled, though her kingdom was far quieter, and her strength lay in the art of solitude. Sahara, a solitary leopard, lived alone in the shadows of the Serengeti, a world that, unlike the open savanna, was full of dense thickets and rocky ridges. Her life was defined not by alliances but by the fierce independence that kept her alive. While Sienna's rule was marked by coordination and leadership, Sahara's was shaped by patience and cunning. Unlike the lioness, Sahara had no pride to back her up, no coalition to fight beside her. She was entirely alone, a solitary figure in the wilderness, and the dangers she faced were no less daunting than those of the lioness. Yet Sahara thrived in this isolation, her every move a calculated act of survival. She hunted alone, relying on her stealth and sharp instincts to bring down prey. Her territory spanned 15 square miles, a rugged expanse that included forests, rocky ridges, and vast plains, each corner a challenge, each step a reminder of the dangers that lurked in the wild. In this world, silence was Sahara's greatest weapon. She moved with grace, her every step calculated to leave no trace, to make no sound. Her body, lean and powerful, was built for stealth, for climbing, and for short, explosive bursts of speed. Each hunt was a game of patience, as she stalked her prey through the thick underbrush, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Every kill was a quiet victory, a testament to her ability to navigate a world where every decision could mean the difference between life and death. But Sahara's true strength was not in her ability to hunt alone. It was in her ability to protect her cubs. In a world where predators roamed and rival species threatened her young, Sahara's silent strength became a shield. She moved her dens under the cover of darkness, never revealing her location to the prying eyes of lions, hyenas, or other dangers. Every moment of her life was a lesson in survival, a constant balancing act between the need to feed her cubs and the need to protect them from the ever-present threats around them. As her cubs grew, they learned the ways of the wild from their mother. They learned to climb trees, to sense the wind, and to remain still when danger approached. Sahara's lessons were not just about hunting, they were about understanding the land, about knowing when to act and when to wait. The quiet resilience of Sahara, the way she navigated the harsh realities of the Serengeti, taught her cubs that survival was not just about strength, it was about intelligence, stealth, and patience. In many ways, Sienna and Sahara's lives mirrored one another. Both were fierce mothers, both skilled hunters, both leaders in their own right. But their paths were different. Where Sienna's strength lay in her ability to coordinate and lead a pride, Sahara's power was in her quiet resilience, her ability to survive alone. Together, they represented two different faces of survival in the wild, two queens whose reigns were shaped by the land they ruled and the lessons they had learned. Sienna's kingdom was one of power through unity. Sahara's was one of power through silence. But both were queens, and both had earned their crowns through grit, strength, and the unbreakable bond of motherhood. Their stories are not just about survival, they are about the resilience of life in the wild, about the fierce determination to endure, and about the deep, unspoken strength that comes from protecting the future. In the end, the wild does not measure power by size or sound, but by the strength of will, the wisdom of experience, and the ability to survive and thrive in a world that is constantly changing, constantly testing. Whether through the roar of a lioness or the silent grace of a leopard, the wild is defined by those who endure, those who rise above the challenges, and those who protect the future of their kind.